the fluffy part of the pumpkin. You see how I have cut it out. See how I have cut it out firmly with a knife, to the point of joining together with the hard portion. So you can see how I have cut it out. I have cut it out. You see, and I've cut it out in this manner to ensure that I left the surface of the pumpkin, of the pieces of the pumpkin, very clean, without any portion of the soft content, so that when I leave it in the air, it will dry on its own in room temperature. At room humidity, it will dry on its own without molding in the next 15 or so hours. This portion of the fluffy content, we have said that these days we don't throw away anything. I'll cut up this fluffy part. I cut it up into small pieces, and then boil it together with rosemary. We boil it together with rosemary and garlic. It is preserved by the use of garlic and the use of rosemary, so that even if it stays in the fridge for 4 days, it is still not go bad. So after I have boiled this part with garlic and rosemary, I will then bread it. The seeds can be, they'll be washed. We're going to wash the seeds as we have demonstrated in one of the videos. And when they are completely dried up, they can be roasted, or one can meal them with a blender, and one can use to add to stews, one can use to sauces, one can add to soups, or even when making porridge, one can add to the porridge. I have cut up my soft content of the pumpkin. I have cut it up, and as you can see, I'm going to boil it together with all those young twigs of rosemary. And they cut out 5 cloves of garlic. Those are 5 cloves of garlic cut up together. The rosemary and the garlic improves the flavor of this soft content of the pumpkin. It also serves as a preserving agent, because when this content is boiled, I'll boil it until when it is cooked and soft. I'll allow it to cool up, and then I can bread it up into a thick fluid with a blender, which I can keep in the fridge. It can stay in the normal fridge for even up to 5 days without going bad, or even 7 days. Or if you're not going to use it quickly, you may divide it into portions and keep it in the freezer. And you can use it at your own convenience. So this is one way of preserving your pumpkin, so that you can use it more efficiently and more effectively. That is my soft content. I placed it in that stainless steel pot, and you can see the garlic and the rosemaries. I'm just going to add the water. I'm going to add the water and leave it to boil until it is soft enough to blend into a smooth fluid. Yeah, I've put enough water to cover the content. Most of the times when this soft part of the pumpkin is boiling, it boils and produces a lot of foam, a lot of air, a lot of gas. The best thing is to to just leave it to boil like that when it is not covered, but keep turning continuously until it is ready. When it is ready, like we said, allow it to cool, and then you can bread it in a breader, and then you can preserve it either in the fridge or in the freezer. In portion, can portion it, and you can use in various ways. Like I've said, this is my soft part of the pumpkin, the one we put on the sufuria with garlic and rosemary. And you can see that it is no longer the voluminous content, that fibrous voluminous content that was quite firm, that we harvested from the inside of the pumpkin. After boiling with water for almost about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, you can see now it is actually become soft. It could be at this particular point quite ready. At this point, it is possible that we can allow it to cool and bread it, but I'll just give it a little bit more time, about 10 minutes to boil a little bit more. You can see now it is really has become very smooth. You can even tell that it has become very smooth and very thick, meaning most of the content is now cooked, and it has breaded very well with the water. And at this point, we just switch off the burner. And leave it to cool. It has now cooled down. You can see it has now cooled down. It is quite thick, quite dense. You can see it is quite smooth. From the cuttings that fibrous and firm cuttings that we press in the sufuria, you can see now we have quite a consistent, soft mixture, which is now quite usable. It is quite attractive and quite usable for sauces, for stews, for soups, in any way that anyone would want to use it. It is now cold. It is now cold, and we can use it. We can put it in the blender so that we can whip it. Ensure that before you whip, ensure that the twigs of the rosemary are not very sharp sticks. They are not firm sticks. It's important that we use the soft shoots of the rosemary so that they can also be broken easily when we blend. We get quite a smooth bread. This is a very good way of preserving a very good part of your product. And by preparing it in the manner that we have prepared it, you blend it and also preserve, freeze it, it will actually come in handy in the preparation of your meals. This kind of blend, you can also use it in making cookies, in making cakes, in making chapatis. You can use it like this. This soft of the pumpkin is usable in very, very many ways. You just pour out. You see how smooth it has come. It has come out. It is a very, very smooth and very attractive blend. You can see what a beautiful, you see. See, that's a beautiful, 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 rich carotenoid, such a rich yellow. And you realize that you have not even added any color. We have not even added turmeric to it or curry powder. It's just our pumpkin, soft of the pumpkin. And you see how useful it can be. You don't have to throw any part of your pumpkin. All you need to do is to ensure that you use it, you preserve it quickly. When the pumpkin is cut out, ensure that it does not stay outside after it has been cut out, so that it does not become contaminated and fungi does not start growing on the soft of your pumpkin. And this, you come to the edge of this process of preparing the soft and preserving the soft of the pumpkin in a manner that it can be profitable and also usable, and preserving it in a hygienic way to ensure that it is also usable in the future. Thank you very much for watching and taking part in this preparation.